Abdu, we know there's lots of different beliefs out there. Is there a way that we as Christians can communicate the gospel in a way that resonates across belief lines?
Sure, and I think the Apostle Paul actually directly addresses this in Colossians chapter 4, when he says, walk in wisdom toward outsiders, making the best use of the time. In other words, answer the questions they're actually asking, not the ones you wish they asked. Letting your speech be gracious, seasoned with salt, and the best part of it, he says, so you may know how you ought to answer each person. Not each worldview, not each religion, not each objection, each person. Because questions don't need answers, but people do. And they come with their questions to get themselves answered. So I think the way to actually communicate the gospel across varying worldviews is to find out what people actually care about. What does the atheist actually care about? What is his grand central question, as it were, about life? What is the pantheist, whether he's a Hindu or a Buddhist or a Scientologist? What is the grand central theme of his quest? What is the Muslim's central theme? So for secular humanists, you have it right in the name. Humanism is the idea of human exceptionalism. There's something about human beings that's special. We're not just amoeba or plankton or mushrooms. We're something more than that. We're invested with dignity. But the secular humanist says we don't need God to justify that. The problem is now it's just this amorphous concept. The gospel actually says, you're right, humanist, human beings are special, not because we decided that based on our opinions, but based on the fact that we are made in God's image. The objective value giver gives us objective value. For the pantheist, if you look at all strains of pantheism, they're trying to get around the problem of suffering. How do we escape the suffering cycle over and over again? Their solution is either detachment from suffering or to realize suffering is an illusion. The Christian worldview actually dignifies suffering by saying it's so real that the ground of all reality, who is God himself, experiences it so that one day we don't have to. And then you look at the Muslim. The Muslim commonly says, Allahu Akbar. It literally means God is greater. So for the Muslim, the central idea of religion is worshiping a God who is truly great. Well, the Christian faith answers that, I think, better than Islam does or any other worldview, because in the Christian faith, the greatest possible being, who is God, expresses the greatest possible ethic, which is love, in the greatest possible way, which is self-sacrifice. So for the pantheist, suffering is dealt with on the cross. For the atheist who wants to believe in human value, you know how valuable something is by what you're willing to pay for it. There's the cross. And for the Muslim, they want to worship a God who is truly great. The cross is a demonstration of God's utter greatness. So I think the way to do this is to find out what someone actually cares about, study the gospel to find out how it addresses that, and then answer them where they are.